Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Anthony, aka Ant Physics, bringing you guys back to day number 160 of vlogging every day. I hope you guys are excited what your boy is. Last afternoon was Monday Night Raw live from Paris, France. There's things I'm going to touch on, including the ruler, Oba Femi, kicking off the show. I gotta be quiet because my mama's asleep. And my dad's asleep. And my brother's asleep because he's got school. And I'm up making this video. So we got to kick things off with the ruler, with the ruler, Oba Femi, walking down to the ring. And despite his match with Dirty Dom Mysterio next week on Raw, and Baltimore, Maryland, he was talking a lot about Brock Lesnar. The AAA El Mega Campeón came up to the ring, and of course, a lot of cheers, a lot of boos, and loud Oba chant. And of course, I knew Dom Mysterio's attack was borderline stupid. JD McDonough came up and attempt to hit the ruler in the back with a steel chair. Oba Femi laughed as he decimated both of those superstars. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a squashing match next week on Monday Night Raw. And to kick things off, Seth Rollins was at the show getting ready for his match in the main event of Raw. And he was thanking Montez Ford for next week, or last week, for saving him and having him get his back. And despite all the differences for the Street Profits and Seth Rollins, Dawkins or Montez Ford has said, hey, we got a common enemy. And Seth said a few things. He said, how's Dawkins? And as Ford was trying to answer, the Usos came up and attempted to try to talk some sense into Seth frickin' Rollins, because Seth wants to face Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, as well as the Man Becky Lynch, Chelsea Green, and Alexa Bliss all squared up for the Queen of the Ring match. And of course, it was an absolute showout. And it was won by Liv Morgan. And of course, happy birthday to the world champion of the women's division, Liv Morgan. Next week on Monday Night Raw, we will see the return of the OTC, Roman Reigns. And of course, Jacob Fatu not doing the bidding of the Usos, because he didn't acknowledge the Usos. He acknowledged Roman Reigns. So there's going to be a bunch of things going on with Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, the Usos, all the mumbo jumbo, all the highlight reels, and all the good stuff. Soroka was getting ready to defend her Women's Intercontinental Championship for the first time in that championship life against the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. And of course, Soroka with that beautiful, hot soul snatcher, able to take down and retain the Intercontinental Championship. Before his showdown with Rey Mysterio, Chad Gable had approached the Luchador. And he apologized for obviously disrespecting the Lucha Libre culture. And he had a talk with the AAA Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Fenix. Penta saw and heard what Chad had to say. Penta accepted it, but he's got to talk to the main one for Lucha Libre, and he's got to make things right. As he storms off, LA Knight has came out to the ring, and of course has some things to say about Roman Reigns, and of course has some things to say about Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out to the ring, spilled some nonsense, and that was pretty much it. Roxanne Perez backstage was very upset about how the way things have gone, and was pitching the idea of Liv Morgan versus Raquel for the Queen of the Ring. Liv wasn't having it. As soon as Liv was trying to say something, here goes the trash bag himself, Dominic Mysterio, wondering what he's going to do with Opa Femi. Liv said she has a plan. Whatever that plan is, he's not going to stop the ruler. Before his showdown with Penta, Chad Gable had approached Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Chad Gable has said so much things wrong about the Lucha Libre culture, about how the mask represents the Lucha Libre. And Rey has said some things that I would have said them too. He's got to fix some things. But as for Rey and Dragon Lee, they accept the apology. And that's big, coming from the WWE and AAA Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. And he understands Chad Gable and how losing the mask hurts for Lucha Libre. And it's crazy. It really is. They were talking about how Triple Mania was going to have the first 2 nights. And the second night, Dom Mysterio will be defending the AAA Mega Caprion against an opponent for Triple Mania. Shown the feels for the men's division this week on SmackDown. LA Knight will go one-on-one with main event Jey Uso versus Finn Balor versus Royce Keys in a fatal 4-way match. And of course, for the women's division, I'm going to miss a lot, but Sol Ruca and Lyra Valkyria being one of the 4, or 2 of the 4 women in that match, I'm pretty sure Charlotte and Jade. Next week on Monday Night Raw, Io Sky, the genius of the Sky, will go one-on-one with Big Mommy Cool, Sexy Raquel Rodriguez. And as I said before, Opa Femi will go one-on-one with the AAA El Mega Caprion, Dominic Mysterio. I should say trash bag, Dominic Mysterio. There we go. Let's see, anything else I wanted to say here? Oh, yeah, the main event. But we're going to head over to Penta versus Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And as a high-fly luchadors go through, Penta was able to hit that Mexican destroyer and respect and pin the legendary luchador. After the match, both competitors shake hands as Rusev and Ethan Page came to spoil it. And of course, Dragon Lee came up right at the end, and Rusev unmasked Rey Mysterio. If you guys don't know, the mask for Lucha Libre means a lot. And Chad Gable came out to even the odds, give his mask back to Rey Mysterio. Has he earned respect for Lucha Libre yet? The fatal 4-way match for the King of the Ring, Seth frickin' Rollins goes one-on-one with Javon Evans, Ricky Saints, and Tala Tonga. And thanks to the interference of the Vision and Montez Ford, Seth Rollins still came up short, and Ricky Saints fell into that beautiful OG cutter to take that victory down. Now Ricky Saints will have a date with one of the 4 superstars in the semifinals, as I mentioned. LA Knight, Jey Uso, Finn Balor, and Royce Keys. Which of those 4 gentlemen will go one-on-one with Javon Evans in the semifinals. And of course, guys, the finals for the King and Queen of the Ring will happen at Night of Champions. Let's see here. I want to see if there's anything else I want to talk about. No, I think that's it. I think I covered everything. What's the time here? 11 minutes. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So, I'm streaming Dead by Daylight right now on YouTube. You guys can go check it out. And as always, guys, I'm going to get back to streaming. It's your boy Anthony, also go by here Physics. And as always in Squad, the man that defines physics. I'm out, baby. Peace. Yeah.